Hi everyone, I just wanted to do a very quick video. I have a subscriber who has actually asked me quite a bit of questions over the past 2 weeks. Some of them I haven't seen until today actually, but migros. I just thought it would be easier to just pop on here and do a very quick video to kind of summarize some things. Let me turn my brightness down for a minute because my eyes look freaky. There are a lot of questions that you have, and I know that I think the very last thing I seen, you were basically just like, there's no way I'm gonna go without anything in my mouth after extractions, and that is absolutely normal. That is fine, and that is absolutely normal to feel. I was the same way. There are many others out there who also feel that way. Now, after my experience and what I went through personally for me, in all honesty, they did the impressions. I'll tell you my timeline. I'll just sum it up in this video for you. They did my impressions a couple of weeks before my extraction, and I still had 25 teeth in my head. Rotting, horrific, 8 of them in the front were not my real teeth. They were just crowns, and it was just a horrible 25 altogether that they had to extract. But he did the impressions prior to the extraction. So after extraction and I, had them placed into my mouth, they wouldn't fit. So he had to, not Josh, this was the other gentleman, had to drill them out and open them enough to get them to even suction or even adhere to my palate and my gum line. That was extremely swollen, full of infection. I mean, my mouth is in bad shape. And you also have to remember too, and I tell everyone this, that nobody, not your dentist, not a denturist, not even yourself, nobody's going to know what your mouth looks like or how it reacts to anything that happens on extraction day. Then there are so many things and scenarios that can happen that can change your perspective or change your healing process or just change your game plan altogether. So he had to open them up some, and when I say open them up, I mean he had to drill them out some. So he had to widen them, and that pretty much was just like game over for me. I dealt with a lot of infection at first, and I was in so much pain. And I mean, it was, if you go back to my earlier videos, my very first videos, that first week, I was not in good shape. I was not in good shape at all. And that's not something I planned for. None of us do. Like I said, none of us plan for these things. Sometimes it just happens the way it happens. We have to be prepared for all possibilities. And I wasn't. That's why I really tried to share this with people. And so they were too big. Once the infection went away after, I think it was like a week and a half, maybe 9 days, when that infection started going away and my gums started shrinking and started getting back to the normal size of a mouth after extraction, they did not fit. The bottoms never fit, ever. The top, by then, didn't. I had to put so much product, like half a tube of adhesive just to get it to stay in place. Until eventually I was so very lucky to have an amazing denturist who decided after he seen me that there's no way that he was going to allow me to go 9 more months with these big giant this big giant denture in my mouth that didn't fit. And I never was able to wear the bottom at all. I never was able to place those into my mouth and wear them successfully. And so I was lucky enough to have him remake those. Now, a lot of people will tell you that now that's a temporary denture. Now, by the time it got to the point where he was like, well, we are going to go ahead and remake these, from that moment to the moment I actually placed the new temporary denture in my mouth, it had already been like, it had almost been like 40 something days, maybe almost 50. So if I would have gotten the 25 extractions done and then just held off even 2 weeks, if I would have just waited 2 weeks for them to do the impressions for the temporaries. My situation could have went a lot different. It could have been probably more successful. But again, if you're getting impressions done and you have teeth in your mouth, good luck. You know? And dentists are going to tell you that, and denturists are going to tell you that, and anyone who has any sort of role in your mouth and your healing process and just the process in general, they're going to tell you that it is it's a shot in the dark, you know, because there's so many things that can happen after you get your extractions to your gums, from gums to bones, and sinus problems and migraines, and I mean there's so much that can happen. So just be mindful of those things, and be prepared for those things as well. I was not prepared for those things. Everything I ever seen on YouTube was just, you know, beautiful smiles, and now I'm eating this, and now I'm eating that, and I didn't see one single video about, I don't think I even seen blood. You'll see blood in mine. I don't think I ever seen blood, or people talking about pain or being miserable or crying with in mine. You get it all, honey. And I mean that. You get it all. You get blood, you get pain, you get tears, you get laughter, you get frustration, you get anger, because that is what happens when you get dentures. You're going to go through all of those emotions, and that's okay. It's absolutely okay. And on top of it being okay, acknowledge it. Please acknowledge it. Don't not acknowledge it. And if you choose to share that with others, that's awesome, because I wish I would have seen more of that before my journey. It would help me. It would help me a lot more to mentally prepare myself for what was to come. So I just wanted to do a quick little video to kind of summarize all of that. And then I waited 9 months. And the reason why I waited 9 months and not a year, they recommend a year, is because my gums are shrinking quite fast. And it was to the point where I don't know, Josh, what was it? Pretty much every week I was going in and having adjustments done, and you know, things shortened and taken down, and so it was time for me. And that's something else, you know, we're given a timeline on this, and we're giving a timestamp on that, and we're giving, you know, right now I'm giving you my opinion on certain things, but you have to understand, and you have to go into this knowing that you are not a book, you are not me, you are not Bill or anyone else you're watching on YouTube. You're you, and your experience is going to be very unique, and it's going to be very different, and it's going to be different, and that's what makes us us. You know, our journeys are all different, and we all go through things differently, handle things differently. So I did not wait a year, and that's okay, because my experience isn't written in a book somewhere. My experience is mine, and I'm living it every day. You know, it hasn't been written yet. I'm writing it every day. So I did not wait. I did not wait a year, and I'm happy I didn't, because I love them. I absolutely love them. I love my smile, and it's like my body was ready for it. And I listened to my body. I didn't listen to other people on YouTube and their timeline and when they got theirs. And I didn't read it on a page somewhere on Google. I listened to my body. That's where I got the information of, oh, hey, it's time. It's time to go and get the process started for your permanence, because it's my journey, just like it's going to be your journey. So listen to your body, acknowledge what's going on with your body, and just be mindful. Be mindful that you can plan, but that does not mean that's the way it's going to go. And for a lot of people going into this experience, they come across a lot of things that they weren't prepared for. But that's the wonderful thing about this community, this denture community, is a lot of us on here, we're ready to help you. And I can name several different YouTube channels out there that and maybe even well, I don't know, you guys, Miss Vicky and Sweet Lady and Bill and I can't think of them right off the top of my head. I'd like to share your links, you know, in this video. So if you will allow that, you know, just comment below and let me know, and I'll share that. But everyone here in this community, they will jump on the opportunity to help you or guide you or give you insight or input or give you their opinion if you ask for it. But just be prepared. You know, this is going to be your journey, and it's going to be unique to you and your body and your lifestyle and your heart, and listen to it, acknowledge it. So I hope that answered all your questions. And I live in Washington State. So that is where, and I was on Medicaid as well. That's actually why I was finally able to get my teeth even taken care of. It's because I never pay anything for myself. I'm actually just getting used to doing these things every now and then, you know, doing things for myself. But that's why I was able to get my mouth fixed finally, and it was because I got help through Medicaid, and they covered the extractions. I didn't get no fancy like gas and put to sleep and all that. They didn't cover all that. I would have had to have paid like $300 or $400 for that, and I couldn't afford that. So they just shots. That's all I had, the maximum amount of shots to get those 25 teeth out, and Medicaid paid for that. But then I went to my denturist, who is Columbia Basin Denture Care in Kennewick, Washington. And I live in kind of like a Tri-Cities area. You know, there's Pasco, Richland, Kennewick. And we're just all a hop, skip, and a jump from each other on the highway. But that's where I went, and he offered something called Denefits. It's kind of like benefits, but put a D there, Denefits. And that program is really, really awesome, because I was just like, oh gosh, I can't afford no 500 down or anything. And they're like, well, what can you afford? And I was like, and honestly, it's been so long ago, I can't remember what I put down. It was a very small, tiny amount too, compared to the cost. The cost was $1,700, and the set itself was, I think the set itself was $1,300. 12 or 1,300, and then with the interest and, you know, them carrying the finance and so on and so forth, it brought it to $1,700. And I put like, I think I put like $100 down and pay $50 a month for that temporary set. So it was absolutely worth it. And I don't know where you're at or where you're located. I know you said that you had Medicaid, but if you search online, Google Denefits, I think there should be a number that you can call, and then they can guide you and let you know where the closest location that is offering that service, and then you can call them or go in and apply it. And there's no credit check. They don't run your credit or nothing. It's literally, it's like the best program in the world. It just like, what can you help? You know, what can you put down? This is what I can put down. They're like, okay, what can you afford a month? You say I can afford X amount of dollars a month. They're like, okay, and you're ready to rock and roll. You know, you move on to the next step. But I just wanted to make this video because I seen that you were asking a lot of questions, and I wanted to make sure that I was answering them to the best of my abilities, and I couldn't do that through text, so I wanted to do that on a video. And that's about it. And as far as these eyelashes, you guys, oh my god, they have not moved. They have not budged. I don't know. I'll move my glasses just so you guys can see. I don't know if you can see, but they're not moving. So I guess I'll say that little update in between. And I love them too. All right, I'm gonna get off here. We're not doing anything for trick-or-treating. One daughter went to a friend's house. Another one is going to be walking with another friend and their younger siblings. And then I'm probably just gonna curl up and watch a scary movie either by myself or with my very last child. So, all right, you guys, I love you. You guys have an amazing, safe, happy Halloween. Be careful out there, okay? Check all the candy and just be careful. Be careful out there. All right, I love you guys very, very much, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.